Hello my dear subscribers! Today we discuss the topic of relationships of local Ukrainian men with their children when they get divorced with the wife, and also legal issues of traveling and relocating to the kid. As soon as many our clients are worried about this aspect of developing relationships with the Ukrainian bride, it's important to give you a full idea on how it happens nowadays here. Subscribe our channel to get even more useful content about relationships with Ukrainian ladies. Father is one of the most important figures in life and fate for a child. Despite the fact that the fathers spend less time at home than mothers, less often they talk per capita with children, they have a great influence on the psychological and moral development of a son or daughter. In raising a child, they cannot be replaced by anyone or anything. Why Ukrainian fathers do not communicate with their children after divorce in so many cases? Why does it happen that children become unnecessary for fathers after divorce with Ukrainian ladies and they are raised by mothers without fathers' participation? Why do fathers stop communicating with children after the family breaks up? Psychologists believe that the reasons for such an attitude of man may lie in the character of a person, in his value orientation, and also in the culture to which he belongs. Many modern men do not believe in the future and refuse to appreciate the past. The instability of modern life is determined by the fact that men no longer perceive themselves as the main link of the clan chain, the successors of the genes. They live for one day and do not think about the future and about other people, including their own children. All care for children, even in full families, is completely shifted onto the shoulders of women. Second, modern men have completely changed their priorities and social guidelines. Their public rating is no longer determined by the number of heirs or the power of the family clan. Much greater importance now has material wealth. For this reason, children have ceased to be important for men because they do not see the point of straining because they will not bring them success. Third, currently many men have lots moral and guidelines, believing that no one in life can be relied upon. It's quite natural that with such an installation, children as long-term projects requiring reliable parents are not considered by men as something they should be paid attention to. Subscribe our channel right now and not to miss other important and interesting topics about the relationships and life with Ukrainian ladies. Thus, the wrong attitude of the fathers to their children has strong social and cultural reasons that are not so easy to eliminate. However, if you don't look deep into the problem, the answer to the question of why fathers do not communicate with children after divorce can be found on the surface. Firstly, this is how a man's unwillingness to see his ex-wife, which is inevitable, which may a new husband already. Here a lot of feelings that are mixed up, both insults and wounded male ego and anger. Secondly, the father can transfer his hate and anger of their former spouse to the child. This reason is especially evident in the situation when a son or daughter looks like their mother or relatives from mother's side. Thirdly, a man can start a new family requiring all his attention, and they simply won't have time, strength or finances for children from their previous marriage. In addition, the new spouse may resist the father's communication with the child from ex-wife. Fourth, many men in general treat children differently than women. Very deeply, men might have a fear or suspicion that the child isn't his father. After all, only the mother can be 100% sure that the child was born from her. Fifth, as you know, papa's love and mom's love are two completely different substances. Mom loves her child simply for what he is, whatever appearance, character, school performance, etc. he has. At the same time, it's important for the father that the offspring is what his father wants him to be, and the child will meet his expectations and requirements. For example, be successful, healthy, beautiful, athletic, have common interests with his father, and so on. If this doesn't happen, or if the child is still too small to win the love of his father, the man ceases to see the point in continuing or to communicate with that person, which is simply derived from him biologically, but doesn't cause any parental feelings and pride. I want a Ukrainian wife, or how to get father's permission to bring in a child abroad. Unfortunately, nowadays many fathers, despite the fact that they do not help in raising a child, don't pay alimony, they don't give permission to their former wives to export the child abroad, regardless of whether it's just a holiday trip or for permanent residence. What are the travel rules for children under the age of 16? Citizens under the age of 16 leave Ukraine with the permission of both parents and accompanied by them or by person authorized by parents, who at the time of leaving Ukraine have reached 18 years old. Citizens under the age of 16, accompanied by persons authorized by both parents, shall depart from Ukraine by the notarized permission of both parents, indicating the country of destination and the corresponding time interval in that state. How to get permission to leave the child abroad? The best option is to voluntarily obtain such permission. The parent's permission to leave Ukraine for a child who is not under the age of 16 is issued in the form of a statement in which the authenticity of the signature of parents is notarized. To perform this notarial act, you can contact the notary public office or private notary. If one of the parents basically doesn't want to give permission, in the absence of the permission of one of the parents, the child's leaving Ukraine may be allowed on the basis of a court decision. The statement of claim for permission to leave without the agreement and accompaniment of one of the parents is filed in civil proceedings in a local court as a registered place of residence or stay of the defendant. In addition, if the father doesn't pay alimony for a long time and doesn't help in raising the child, it's possible to deprive him of his parental rights. However, this is a rather long procedure. If you have chosen a Ukrainian woman who already has a child and your heart tells you, "I want Ukrainian wife," you need to ask at an early stage of your acquaintance what kind of relationships she has with her ex-husband, whether he will prevent her and her child from going abroad. And even in such a problem, if such problem exists, it will not be able to stop you from the opportunity to build a happy and harmonious family with the one you love. I will be grateful for your comments, questions and your own stories. Write them below the video and we will discuss it if necessary. Have a nice day and may everything happen smoothly and easy in your relationships with the Ukrainian lady.